6985.
I had lost about 50 pounds and kind of stalled. And then a friend had said, you ought to look at Weight Watchers Clinic. The combination of Weight Watchers and weight loss medication has changed my life. It's a different body, a different world.
When we made the switch to coterie diapers, our baby started sleeping better through the night and we had way less diaper changes. The material is incredibly soft, thin, and luxurious. It feels like clothing. If you want the best of the best for your baby, try a coterie. You won't regret it.
Big city crimes hit small town America. Heartland Homicide. Next.
In Jackson, the crossroads of Michigan, a family also comes to a crossroads. A mystery illness and a bizarre discovery. In this house of nightmares, nothing is as it seems. One police officer follows his gut instincts. And discovers the abomination that was supposed to stay hidden. Along the Grand River, about 75 miles from Detroit, Jackson lies in central southern Michigan. It's an affordable working-class commercial and manufacturing hub known as a cool place to live. And it's got history. The Republican Party can trace some of its early roots to Jackson and the 1854 anti-slavery rally. The Jackson Railway Station is one of the oldest and greatest American railway stations, known as the Crossroads of Michigan. But some of Jackson's history is something its residents would prefer to forget. Officer Wayne Bizard is only 4 months on the police force when he makes a call to a rural township north of Jackson.
They went to church quite frequently, and they didn't come to church, and so the daughter and the son became worried. But they had thought that it was a gas leak or something of that nature, so they called 911. We went inside and cleared the house, and obviously it was a homicide.
And soon, a gruesome discovery is made that will alter Wayne Bizard's life forever. A gang of juvenile males has descended on the home.
They had heard that the couple had a lot of money. The husband was right near his recliner in the living room. He had obviously been stabbed multiple times in the back of the neck with kitchen knives still sticking out.
It's apparent that the female victim has attempted to barricade herself in the bathroom.
And again, the knives were sticking out of the back of her neck.
rookie cop is initiated into the reality of violent crime and the trauma it inflicts.
That one I had a little PTSD. Obviously, I've never been exposed to that before.
4 years later, Bassard will be instrumental in a case so bizarre and macabre that it will eclipse that horrific rookie discovery and shape the town of Jackson to its core. Kevin Lloyd Arts, known by his nickname Kip. He is the owner and head chef of the popular restaurant Kip's Pizza Taco House. Patricia Ann Powers, known as Patty. When she meets Kip, she has one daughter from a former abusive marriage. When Kip and Patty meet, things start to change for the better for both of them. And after Patty's bad marriage, her family is delighted to see Patty happy again. The two wed and operate the restaurant together. Kip is the chef, and Patty is head waitress and runs front of house. Their restaurant and home are attached, so they never have far to go and are always together. Time passes in much the same way, and after being together for 12 years, friends and family say they've never seen a couple so happy. The couple decide to throw a big roast barbecue for the people they love. And having access to their own commercial kitchen, Kip and Patty are ideally situated to host. But immediately after the barbecue, Kip begins experiencing severe headaches. Patty wants Kip to see a doctor and have it checked out, but without health insurance, Kip is reluctant. But Patty convinces him. The doctor has shocking news. Kip has a large blood clot on the right side of his brain and will need emergency brain surgery. On June 29th, 1999, Kip is admitted to hospital in Jackson to remove the blood clot in his brain. Patty has no choice but to shut the restaurant while Kip, the restaurant's chef, is incapacitated. Kip and Patty do not have health insurance. Big hospital bills are looming, and without the daily income that she and Kip rely on, compounded by not knowing when the restaurant will be able to reopen, Patty decides she needs some quick cash. So Patty sells their car, a Lincoln. The blood clot is successfully removed from Kip's head. After the surgery, Kip is a changed man. When he is released on July 2nd, his father, Lloyd Arts, notes that his son appears dazed and childlike. But without medical insurance, the tab is growing by the hour. The concern over Kip's condition grows. As Kip's father notes, his son doesn't know what color his clothes are. But Kip is in the care of Patty, his loving wife. Kip will have some much-needed time at home to rest and recuperate. Patty is left entirely alone to care for Kip, in their combined home and restaurant, which is usually bustling with customers. It's been a punishing period of worry, and Patty is overcome by exhaustion. Until she senses something is terribly wrong, and the exhausted woman has only seconds to react.
Imagine going from this to this in your kitchen, from this to this in your bathroom, or from this to this in your outdoor space. Now you can with the all-new waterproof horsepower. The new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning up to 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Forget harsh chemicals. With just water, horsepower can clean bathroom tiles and tubs back to their original shine. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. How strong is horsepower? We took this distressed antique and restored it to like new. Amazing! Get your horsepower scrubber today with bonus scouring sponge for just $39.99. It's powered with the latest rechargeable technology. But wait, you'll also get this stainless steel brush to make range hoods look new again. Yours free. You'll also receive this cone brush that fits perfectly into corners, tiny crevices, or hard to reach areas. Yours free. And to top it off, we'll include this microfiber cloth to polish delicate surfaces sparkling clean. Free. And when you order, find out how you can get the bottle. It conforms to fit small openings, then reaches deep down to clean tumblers, cups, and more. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. There is a strict limit of 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-489-8991 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. That's 1-800-489-8991 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. Order now.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Looked at her and I said, the pain is gone. And she said, I'm glad it helped. I said, no, you don't understand. It's gone.
You too can feel better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Call or go online now for our 3-week quick start, just $19.95.
This is the story of the one who believes being prepared is not just a way of life, it's how he helps everyone stay safe. He sweats the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. For the one, being an unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes is just how he likes it. The industrial grade products you need delivered fast. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
To prove that there is such a thing as free money, we give people a little sample of Ibotta.
Hi, would you like to try a sample? What is it? Ibotta.
If I can just take this. Is this real?
Yes, you're not allergic, right?
Get cash back every time you shop with Ibotta.
How long have you been tracking the value of our car? Should we sell it?
We hold.
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
Jackson, Michigan. Population 33,534. Living in a diversified commercial and manufacturing center with ties to the auto industry. The cost of living is low. The air quality is good. With a small town feel. It's an ideal place to run a nice little restaurant. But on this night, these restaurant owners are vulnerable and alone, and the unthinkable is happening. Patty has been nursing her husband, Kip, who's just had emergency brain surgery to remove a blood clot. It's not unusual for Patty's family to talk to her every day. So after the surgery, when no one has been able to get a hold of Patty or Kip in 2 days, they become concerned. Patty's sister Cynthia decides to pay them a visit and check things out herself. Much to her surprise, since Kip is there recuperating from major surgery, no one answers her knock. But as she's about to leave, Kip answers the door. Kip tells Cynthia something that shocks her, that he and Patty got into a fight, and Patty took off in their Lincoln to visit someone. But Cynthia knows that Patty sold the car. With Kip's odd demeanor and his lie about the car, Cynthia believes that something is very wrong.
Alarm bells are going off for the family because of the lie about the car. But was it a lie or was it just confusion? They know he hasn't been himself recently because of the recent brain surgery. And if an accident happened in the home, he probably wouldn't be able to deal with it on his own. They also know that the doctors ordered him to stop taking his medication cold turkey, essentially, prior to the surgery. So they don't want to see him get himself into trouble. Because of a chemical imbalance that was essentially not his fault. He's not taking his medication, so things aren't the same for him right now.
In addition to the facts, the family has extra concerns. Dark undercurrents to the marriage exist that only those who are close to Patty know. Kip and Patty have had marital problems in the past. But for the moment, they just want Patty located. Patty's family contacts the police.
They were concerned about her whereabouts and felt that she may be injured or hurt inside of the restaurant someplace. We had called the brother's house and made contact with Kip's sister-in-law and said, we'd like to meet Kip at the restaurant. So Kip was sitting in the vehicle in the front of the restaurant by the front door. So I made contact with him sitting in the car, and I just said, hey, I'm here to make sure that Patricia's okay. So he reluctantly went to the front door of the restaurant to let me in. When he started to put the key into the door, his hands were shaking. And then he said, I can't do this. And he turned around and he went back inside of the car. So I went back over to him and I said, let's just look in the restaurant. She's not here, right? Nope, she's not here. Okay, let's just look in the restaurant, make sure she's okay, that she's not here, and then we can get out of your hair. They'll leave. You can go to your brother's house. Reluctantly, he got out of the vehicle. And again, his hands were shaking, but he opened up the front door, and I followed him into the restaurant.
The men enter the restaurant, but Kip does not turn on the lights. Bizarre looks for the body of Patty. Still in darkness, Kip leads the officer into the kitchen area.
When I walked into the kitchen area, I noticed there were some paper towels that had been sitting on the floor. It looked like it had dried meat blood on it, the kind of stuff you would if you were, to open up a package of raw hamburger. That's what it kind of looked like to me. And then next to it was a large garbage can, which had some of the same type thing in it. Well, the restaurant had been closed a couple of weeks. I had known that, so I thought that was kind of strange, but maybe not out of the ordinary for a restaurant.
Officer Bizarre has one last look for Patty, but he sees no sign of her. Kip's family take him into their care until Patty comes back. Patty's family talks to Bizarre And the more they tell him, the more concerned he is for her safety. Bizarre consults with Detective Tom Fierro about events at Kip's restaurant.
And I told him my concerns and what my feelings were, and I told him I think we need to go back in and look a little more closely inside the restaurant.
Officer Bizarre arranges with Kip to meet at the restaurant at an arranged time later that day for further inspection. Then, Officer Bizarre and Fierro get an idea to return to the restaurant before the arranged time so they can look around before Kip gets there. But when they arrive early, the officers get a big surprise. They're not the only ones who have arrived early.
He was carrying a cardboard box and then turned and walked away from us to the front of the building and disappeared around the front of the building.
Kip doesn't know it, but whatever he's come back early to do is now being observed by police. They learn that Kip has come back early to tidy up. The kitchen was never properly cleaned after the big pig roast he and Patty had hosted before his emergency surgery.
His demeanor had totally changed. He was a lot more open, a lot more friendly than he was the previous time.
Kip agrees that Officer Bizarre can look around. Bizarre moves methodically toward the kitchen area.
So what I immediately noticed inside the kitchen was a large pan, a stainless steel-like baking pan, and it had cooked on meat all over the inside of it. And I thought, well, it could be part of a pig roast. I don't know.
In front of the washer-dryer area, Bizarre sees foam littering the floor.
Inside of the dryer, it looked like there was foam or something in there. So I looked in there, and it was just chunks of foam. It was like somebody had stuck a pillow or something in there, and it disintegrated inside the dryer.
During his search, Bizarre finds a purse. Then he realizes he may be able to confirm it belongs to Patty. Bizarre sees that Patty's sister Cynthia has arrived outside, and she may recognize the handbag.
So now I knew that she hadn't left because she didn't leave her purse here. So I thought, at this point, I'm outside already. I'm going to go find out where this box was that Kip was carrying. There was a dumpster, and I opened up the dumpster thinking it was going to be in there, and it was empty. So I thought, well, where in the world could he have put that box? So the only other place he could have put it was the neighbor's house on the front porch. I saw the box sitting there. And when I opened up the box, there was a clear plastic bag. And then inside the clear plastic bag, I can clearly see a human head, which had appeared to be, cooked. So at that point, I knew I had found Patty and that she was no longer missing.
Bizarre calls for more units to come and lock down the crime scene.
I immediately went back and made contact with the detective, and I called him away from Kip. I said, I found her. She's in that box that he was carrying. He goes, are you sure they had a pig roast here? Are you sure that's not what it is? I know, I'm positive that's what it is. was still hair. The skin looked like it was crispy. You could still see your eyes clearly, and you could still see the skin, but it still had some. You could tell it was a human face. Obviously, it looked like it had been cooked.
The officers take Kip into custody.
Crime scene investigators use luminol to detect if there is any human blood within a scene. Luminol interacts with the iron in hemoglobin and gives off a blue hue, which indicates that there is blood present even though a victim's blood may have tried to been cleaned up by the perpetrator. Luminol will indicate that there is blood even though if it wasn't visually present by our eyes. It makes the invisible visible when it comes to blood.
And the garbage can glowed in the center of the room almost to the point where it would light the room up.
When luminol was used in this case, it showed that there was blood present in multiple locations. The locations within the carpet in front of the couch, and present on the kitchen floor and the kitchen counter, and there was enough blue hue within that kitchen to make it glow.
It's likely that Kip kills his wife Patty while she's lying on the couch, hitting her in the head with a hammer.
The importance of you trying to find out the patterns of blood, and that's when they rely on blood pattern and splatter specialists within police departments to determine where the victim sustained all of their injuries, and then how the victim was moved from that location and suspected to have been taken into the kitchen where a lot more blood was located through the luminol. The fact that all of the blood and the blue glow from that luminol indicates that there was a very morbid and graphic scene, and that the victim ended up being dismembered within that kitchen area. When you come present onto a scene where there is suspected to be a deceased body, and there is luminol that is glowing and blood patterns that are present, why would an individual take the time to wash items in a washing machine? That would be a red flag, thinking that they were using items and trying to get rid of some of the evidence that were present on those items. So that all would have to be captured by the forensic identification team and gone through to see what type of evidence he was trying to destroy on those items.
Kip dismembers Patty's body, then bakes the bones, and boils and cooks the remainder in the oven for what is estimated to be about 40 hours. Investigators find several axes that are suspected to have been used to chop Patty's body into pieces.
When a body has been found to be dismembered, an autopsy by a forensic pathologist occurs to make sure, for example, that the bag of bones and flesh that were found are actually human, and they do match the dismembered head that the police found. So the DNA and all of that needs to match to make sure that we don't have more than one body at a scene and more than one victim.
Rumors spread that the newly dubbed deep-fried killer, Kip, has served his wife to restaurant patrons. But this horrific and bizarre case is about to get even stranger. 2 weeks prior, body parts of another woman are found in several locations in Ann Arbor. Thomas Kraft of Swanton, Ohio, faces trial for aggravated murder and dismemberment of his wife, Lynette. Is it possible that Kip has another life that no one is aware of? Is he, in fact, a copycat killer?
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on giving you fast, reliable, nationwide coverage at up to half the cost of the leading carriers. But don't worry, we've got more than that going for us. Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have a flip phone, like the Iris Flip. We even have watches. I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
New customers save $50 when you sign up today. Call 800-918-5494. Find us in Target or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
Watch this. It's all 100% real. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. Nothing has been doctored or tampered with. The very real problem will disappear before your eyes and hers with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours and hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags. It works on sagging jowls, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. In just minutes, you can restore and beautify your face, even look years younger. And the look will last all day or all evening.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Prove It Plexiderm trial. You'll see why our customers describe Plexiderm with 3 words. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Order right now. We'll pay your shipping. Operators are standing by.
So, are you guys still thinking about going to Italy?
Yeah, just booked the flight. Great. You guys are going to love it.
We went last year and it was just so beautiful. Right?
Frank, you okay, bud? This is the best steak I've ever had. Right? And I get them every month. Nothing compares to the taste of Omaha steaks. Guaranteed. Save $30 on our new USDA certified tender filet mignon with promo code TASTE30 at checkout.
You know what I love about Quick Hit Slots? It's the mobile slots game that gives you those authentic Vegas thrills. And it's free to play. You just can't beat it. That moment just before the big win. Quick Hit Slots has all the games you know and love. And best of all, the jackpot. Find out why millions are playing it. Download Quick Hit Slots for free and get a 6 million coin bonus. Make every day a winning day.
Coming up next on True Crime Network.
A call about a missing family member leads Jackson, Michigan officers to an unspeakable discovery. Kip Arts has murdered and dismembered his wife and attempted to dispose of her by cutting her into small pieces and breaking down the body by cooking her. Is Kip a copycat killer inspired by the recent Thomas Kraft killing and dismemberment of his wife Lynette?
The Kraft murder is another seemingly happy couple with hidden undercurrents to their marriage. In June of 1999, just prior to Patty's murder, pieces of Lynette Kraft's body were discovered. The feet were discovered in a garbage bin outside a fast food restaurant, and a severed head was located in a landfill. This occurred in the very nearby Ann Arbor, Michigan, and likely Kip would have heard the story and the details in the news, so it raised the question of whether this may have been a copycat of some kind. At the end of the day, however, no clear association was ever made between the two cases.
Most people who knew Kip and Patricia both